Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. It is pretty hard to believe that it is, already the end of the week. I'm not going to make the same joke that I do about, time going quickly in markets that I always do, but hey, the proof is in the pudding, right? Nonetheless, we're going to have a great show for you guys today. Wrap up your week, send you off into the weekend. Bitcoin just kind of slowly grinding its way back towards the highs. We will see how that resolves here, hopefully even as soon as this weekend. But first, I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker, Louis, Prometheus, and soon Max as well. But yeah, hope everybody is having a great day and has had a great week thus far, right? I mean, I feel like this week the coins have kind of been like trading within a range, but I also feel like we're priming a pretty big move in either direction. So there will be quite a bit of volatility to trade before we can get into, however, our thoughts on which direction we think that is going to be and what coins seem to be, showing the most strength, the most weakness, etc. I'm going to need you guys to hit the like button. Let's wrap up the week with a high like button total. We really haven't pestered you guys that much, but at the same time, I also know that many of you are leaving your likes on the table, and you help us grow our channel when you smash, slam, annihilate, destroy the like button. Whatever adjective, whatever verb you need to justify hitting it for us is always very appreciated, and ultimately, as we always say, helps us keep the lights on here at BB and continue to bring you guys this content. But yeah, let's talk about the market, right? Because I mean, Bitcoin is just kind of slow grinding its way back towards the highs. This is like the millionth tap of 104.5K. Will we see price discovery on Bitcoin soon, or will we see a deeper pullback? I think altcoins are kind of communicating a bit of a mixed bag, but I think we're going to continue to look for signal from market leaders, right? Things like Hyperliquid, for example, which, I would say has busted through at this point. It's 104.5K equivalent, attempting to enter price discovery here in the not so distant future. You have to imagine that this asset is showing strength as a positive, while Fartcoin, which is another risk on signal that we have been using, hasn't been showing quite as much strength as Hyperliquid. To me, this communicates that, altcoins would really like to take a leg up. I think they're just waiting for a little bit more freedom from Bitcoin, right? Maybe that comes with an all-time high break. Maybe that comes after a little bit more downside for Bitcoin. I'm sure we'll discuss that on today's show. But yeah, I mean, I am seeing a few altcoins with outsized strength. They're also going to need ETH to break out as well, probably above this 2600, 2650 level that has been a little bit sticky here this week, but I mean, it's effectively just kind of within its trading range since Wednesday. Equity markets are kind of boring and slow today, so I imagine we will talk a lot about crypto on today's show. But I think there is a lot of activity going on with crypto that is pretty self-explanatory. And if we get these breakouts on majors, then altcoins will soon follow. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing from the markets right now? Any particular coins that we like? And that's true for you, the audience, as well. If you guys hit the like button, we will do our best to look at any tickers that you share with us.
Yeah, man, I think we're looking pretty good still. If I can type that in right, there we go. I mean, kind of like you mentioned, hype seems to be leading. It looked exactly the same as Bitcoin, and then it popped. So, I mean, obviously, it's not a long shot from here to all-time highs on Bitcoin. I think if you break this to the upside, that's pretty easy to get to. If we're just gonna take a quick little linear fib, 130 maybe, something like that, but yeah, it does appear it wants to leg up again. Kind of like you said, equity's not doing a whole lot. I'm going to look at yields super quick. Looking like it wants to break down, kind of getting a little bounce, but nothing crazy. DXY, a little bounce. again, nothing crazy. Probably wants to continue a little bit lower. That's pretty clean. ETH was giving this 3 drive, right? 1, 2, 3. I thought, honestly, it was going to come back to this origin yesterday. I thought it was going to come back down here. It hasn't. You know, if Bitcoin's just going to drag it up, that's fine. But, you know, I think you lose this low, you're going to get 23s, right? But for now, it looks fine. It's like, I mean, you know, if Bitcoin's going to hold ETH up, it's fine with me, you know, but, yeah,
I mean, it looks like the bull chop that Bitcoin put in like last week, kind of very similar type action we're seeing now with ETH that we saw out of Bitcoin last week. So, and then Bitcoin legged up out of it. Bitcoin legged up.
Oh, you're talking about this right here? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we could see that one, you know, that drop to the origin still, like, because we got it on Bitcoin.
Yeah, this does look a little similar, you know, and then this would have been, you know, where we targeted, and ETH would be right here right now. So
yeah,
that does track. That does track indeed. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're just kind of stair-stepping. We're just kind of stair-stepping up here. So, I mean, this would be like, if we are going to pull back, you know, I'd want to see like this line / 100K hold, but
yeah,
you never know about the weekend. You never know about the weekend. So
I feel like we're getting some volatility this weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we've mostly been trading within a range this week, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much in the Monday range right now. And that's kind of what I was talking to the Discord yesterday about, you know, like you could do whatever chart pattern or whatever you want to do. We're just chopping. We're just ranging. We're paused right now after our most recent leg. Hard to get a read, right? So the best way to get a read, at least on the low time frame right now, for me, is just do a simple Monday range, right? So you have that Monday wick low we put in. Above there, you know, look for continuation. Below the Monday low, look for that pullback, right? Because, you know, we are coming into an area where we definitely can see a pullback. It really just depends if it's going to come from here or is it going to come after we get another leg higher, right? That's really kind of where we're at. So to keep it super simple, just mark the Monday range, right? Like Tucker just did. You know, above that wick, I think we're good for continuation or more chop. Below that, you know, we could see a deeper pullback. So kind of how I'm monitoring it right now in lower time frames.
I think the market's just kind of waiting on Bitcoin right now. Right? Like if we can get some sort of gap above, I would say the highs that we've put in basically since like Tuesday, it's probably a sign that Bitcoin's ready to go for another leg up. And in that case, you know, I think there are a lot of altcoins that kind of have just like a lid on them right now, waiting for a little bit more direction before they can begin more substantial high time frame uptrends.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see real quick. Are they? Yeah, they're smashing the VIX still. They're smashing it all right.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
So are we getting any movement from that? Not really.
Yeah, so like that's just one thing that, like, you know, we got to be aware. Like this thing has been getting absolutely crushed. You know, a pop up on the VIX, you know, can give us that pullback, right? So again, is it going to happen now or is it going to happen after we leg up one more time? I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, and I feel like the market right now is just in that same thing. Like, what are we going to do here, right? We're gonna pull back, right? Or are we gonna go for another leg? And that's kind of like, I think, like Tommy said, market's kind of just waiting on Bitcoin here, see what it's going to do.
I kind of feel like at this point, equity markets are not going to pull back too much before they go into, like, I'm not expecting super aggressive price discovery on equity markets. I've stated a lot of different reasoning for that, but I kind of feel like at this point, it's unlikely that we see a pullback beyond like 4 or 5% before we see equities go into price discovery. And I kind of think with that, you know, we're kind of already seeing signs of what yields are going to do, which is that they'll probably, I mean, they might continue higher, right? With the market as a result of, I mean, we've talked about this, the wealth effect that's created from the market going higher. It's typically, you know, a little bit, it causes inflation to be a little bit more persistent. I kind of feel like that's going to be the catalyst that pushes yields higher ultimately. But yeah, I mean, I kind of think at this point, equities are going to probably chug back to all-time highs here over the next few weeks, maybe consolidate, distribute for a little bit. And that should give, I think, a window of opportunity for crypto and coins to continue to perform.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. There is an absurd amount of volume coming in at the 6,000 strike on the SPX, which I mean, we're basically running up into right now. And it really started back when we were around 5,500. We started seeing all that volume come in. We do have OPEX today, so that could definitely be a big reason for the lack of volatility in the markets. It is the end of the week. You're probably seeing options expiration.
Oh,
Yep.
fancy
Yeah,
schmancy term there.
yeah. So your monthly options for March are set to expire today. So seeing a little, you're probably seeing the bigger players adjust, you know, some of their positioning. I was messaging Tommy about this, but the call values are essentially the values or the pricing of calls in general was insanely high and very much skewed to the upside. And because of that, you know, I could definitely see a little bit of pullback here. Just seeing some of those longs kind of roll up and out, you know, see those call values come down. And also maybe see some of them close, which could, you know, give us a little bit of a pullback here. But we are definitely skewed to the upside at this point. And volatility, too, is screaming to us that all, you know, if you look back to last week and the week before, the market was so scared of the unknowns in the market, right? Everybody was worried and had no idea what was coming down the pipeline. And now VIX specifically is essentially telling us that all those unknowns are now known. And we are at that, you know, lower bound when it comes to volatility. So the market could get caught off sides if we do see, you know, any little headline come down the pipeline that we aren't expecting. So definitely something to be cognizant and aware of. But yeah, I mean, VIX structure is completely collapsed from the highs at this point. So, you know, we could see the little tremors or after effects that I talk about oftentimes that we see with volatility after big spikes. But, you know, any little pop up is for selling when it comes to volatility.
Yeah, I think at this point, we're going to see some sort of much larger basing structure before you get meaningful upside on volatility. Again, like you said, Prometheus, I think tremors here and there could definitely occur. They don't have to. I mean, just based on the way that momentum for the VIX has been trading for the last few weeks, you know, I think you're going to need some sort of larger rounding base, which is probably a topic for later this year, but at least for the summer. I mean, the summer is not typically a very high, like an elevated VIX environment because fund managers love to go on vacation. And I have to imagine that's probably going to be the case again this year. But maybe we do get some pullback into the June OPEX. I kind of think it'll happen from a little bit higher up first. And I don't think it'll be terribly deep. I like this super chat. Talking
How are
about
those doing, by the way?
The chart, you said?
Yeah, how are they doing?
I mean, it's fine. It rebounded like 100% off the lows, but it's like one of those things where, you know, it was down so much. It wouldn't take that much. I still think there is a window eventually where those things are going to do really well, but it is at this point a long-term investment, right?
Yeah.
Fine art.
Fine
Still
art
a
on
possibility where that's like that end of the cycle, type stuff we see. Bitcoin puppets, NFTs,
I think we are probably like really early to that narrative. I don't think
Yeah.
they're just going to go to zero. But they're probably like NFTs in 2020 or something like that, right? Where you're probably like 6 to 12 months away from some sort of bull run for ordinals. But you have to, I mean, like, let's be honest, you have to make transacting on the Bitcoin L1 much more palpable for the average shitcoiner and the average user. Otherwise, there's, not going to be that much participation unless, you are just explicitly viewing it from the standpoint of fine art on Bitcoin. If I told that to a Bitcoin maxi, what do you think they'd say?
Just walk around BTC Vegas, just asking everybody's opinion on Bitcoin puppets.
I'll wear my puppet shirt.
Dude, Tommy, what was the when we were in Miami Bitcoin 2 years ago? What was was it like the Wizards? Was that a thing? Is that
Wizards?
Am I remembering that right?
I don't think that was around 2 years ago, but there are Taproot Wizards as an ordinal. That's I think that's Udis.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think they were ordinals at the time. I think they were just like, I don't remember what it was. It was something to do with wizards. I'm pretty sure.
I think I kind of remember what you're talking about.
There were dudes dressed up as wizards, though. I know that.
Yes, that is yes.
That was real. Yeah. How do you feel about the move?
I mean, it looks horrible, but probably. I mean, realistically, like the two last pumps are probably some sort of test pump, honestly, for a bigger move later this year. But I don't think that's going to be an issue for another few months at this point. Just the way that we've kind of nuked their uptrending structures, they just need more time, I think, before you get another move up. So, I mean, like equities probably form rounded top, things like the VIX, rounded bottoms. Realistically, you're not. In my opinion, at least, you're not going to get like huge moves out of these until like at least the fall.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're going to smash it again like they did here.
Bitcoin's trying.
Right now?
I mean, Bitcoin's just been like putting in this lower time frame chop of death and it's just slow grinding back towards the highs.
Like Tucker,
to me.
Yeah. Tucker and you and I are both kind of looking at that, 90, the 100K retest, 90, 97 and change, we'll call it to 100K kind of retest. But if you look at total, we're already getting that right now. And so I'm kind of on the fence, on whether or not, you see that already getting the retest on total. And if you pull a descending trend line from the previous two highs down, we're just kind of smashing our head up, from those two highs down. We're kind of smashing our head up into it right now and getting that, grind up into it.
I mean, there's that, there's this, it's wherever you want to take it from. But
yeah, if you pull it from the leftmost high on that left point to left.
What are you talking about? This over here?
Yeah.
To where, like?
Oh, you got them. If you,
which one?
Somewhere in there. There you go.
That's a decent one. Yeah.
That's kind of the trend line I've been watching. Getting that little bit of a retest on total. And I know a lot of people, a lot of traders specifically, and even myself, I mean, I'm looking at BTC price action and definitely kind of could see a pullback here structurally. We're coming up into supply, totals hitting a little bit of resistance, but we are coming kind of in that weird resistance support region, price compression, seeing a little bit of a pullback here on BTC. I mean, it's definitely in the cards, but like Tommy said, I think just altcoins in general too, if you compare total to total 3, like altcoins are like primed for a huge catch-up trade. And unlike unlike total 3 is, you know, a ton of distance from that descending trend line and is just barely up off those lows. Oh, we lost Tommy.
Yeah, you could draw it here, you could draw it here. But yeah, like these candles, right? Like you can look at, let's do this. Right, these candles are those. There's total 3. Right. So total 3 is like right here, basically. See what I'm saying?
It's basically like ETH versus Sol.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I was just checking that.
I mean, realistically, the market needs Solana to break out to really see risk, I think, enter the market. Sol probably needs Bitcoin. So, you know, it's a domino effect.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did I draw this from? Probably the weekly. Yeah. Get back above 175 on Sol. I think you look good, but
Yeah, I think Sol, XRP, some solid catch-up trades here for those high caps as well, right? I mean, good moves off the low, right, for Sol, but you know, I think it still has a lot to run. XRP too, you know, has been strong for the past 3-4 months. Still kind of in that consolidation range, but getting super close to breaking out. You know, you get above that 260 level, right? I think XRP has a, you know, is another laggard example of a laggard that, you know, if Bitcoin continues to grind higher here, you'll see stuff like XRP, you know, start to go for that next leg. Looks constructive.
Derivs look pretty good on Bitcoin.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have shorted this consolidation. So, I mean, I think you just kind of need to pop their stops down, right? Above like 103, you have a lot of
something like that.
No, I don't really think that you're going to do some sort of like pop and sweep. I think if you break out of this consolidation, you're probably going into price discovery, honestly. Below 103, you're looking at a deeper pullback because there's a lot of shorts underwater from those prices.
There's a ton of liquidity on both sides because we've just been going sideways for the, you know, entire week. If you look at the heat map, I mean, it's just stacked up on both sides.
I wouldn't be fading this compression break, like locally speaking. If you're a trader, I mean, if you're a holder, you got great entries. Either way, it really doesn't matter to you. But if you're a trader, lower time frame, leverage, whatever, we're priming a pretty massive move, I think, within a few days. So, yeah, no, this guy's got it. It could go up. It could go down.
It could go down, then go up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm at this point, just based on what Hyperliquid's doing, I'm leaning that we're about to break higher.
Yeah. Yeah, Hyperliquid's been leading off the lows literally since the lows.
Yeah.
Just so strong. Per looks absolutely ready to rip.
Yes, it does.
Really
My
like
bad.
Per.
Yeah. What is it? Per to fur?
Per to fur.
Per to fur.
What about Pepe here?
I think Pepe looks really good too.
Yeah, Pepe. expected a bigger pullback. If you go to the daily, it was like Monday or Tuesday, like big, high wick rejection candle at that big resistance level. Expected a bigger pullback by now, but just not happening, right? So looks like it could just absolutely continue from here, right? Just a massive move off the lows. Again, yeah, if it doesn't give you that pullback, probably within the next couple of days, it's probably just going to keep going higher, right? So, yeah, looks good, right? So we'll see. And then even this, I think it's like 15, 20% off the high, even though it doesn't look like it. So, I mean, that could be your, I think so. No, I meant like the local high.
Oh, I was like, no.
Yeah.
12% off the local high. 2x back to the real high.
It's like 12% to new highs.
Yeah, it gave you like a 15, 20% pullback, like when markets get crazy, and this is something we've been talking about a lot as well, like especially when the market catches a lot of people off sides, the pullbacks are they're going to be shallow, they're going to be quick, right? Especially if the trend remains strong, and you got to take advantage of them, right? I think it's grained in everyone's mind now from the price action we've seen over the last year and a half, where like every pump is going to give you that full retrace, 50, 75% retrace that you get to just buy the dip on. In a trending bullish market, you don't get that. You get the shallow, you get the shallow pullback. You get the bull, or you just get bull chop, where just like it pauses but slowly grinds higher and then goes for another leg, right? We've seen Bitcoin just do that. So yeah, I think we're shifting from a range bound environment to flipping back to a trending market, right? Trending environment where pullbacks are for buying, right? So use those lower time frames, maybe use some MAs, EMAs, SMAs, whatever you want to do. Use your favorite retracement, however you want to do it. But, I wouldn't be getting greedy with entries, right? I wouldn't be getting greedy with entries.
It's like that, the type of market, Lou, and I think you're completely right, where you don't get greedy with entries. And if they do start to like bleed back down into lows, then you have a pretty tight validation to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like it better if ETH didn't look so like strange for Pepe. But I think Bitcoin looks great right now. So, I guess we'll see. In the same way, you've got a little bit conflicting signals from something like Hyperliquid versus Fartcoin. But
what I think's going on with Fartcoin is it is showing the lack of liquidity in the Sol ecosystem now. I think it's starting to show. I think Sol on chain and Sol ecosystem specifically, is this chart is a great representation that of how thin the liquidity is now on Solana. And if we go and we look at Launchcoin, and I mean, that thing absolutely ripped, but if one name starts to pop off on Solana, all the liquidity shifts from other names to whatever that hot name is. And
it's crazy.
It cannot sustain bids. Like, it just can't. And I think that's what's happening with Fartcoin right now, is you have a lot of liquidity shifting on Solana from Fartcoin potentially to this, new ICM meta and Launchcoin and yada, yada. But I mean, liquidity is just very, very thin on Solana.
I have to feel that would shift if Solana were to break out. Because right now we're basically at like the SBR wick resistance on majors across the board, right? Yep. For Sol, that's 178. Above that, I mean, I still think you're going to see ETH outperform Sol by a lot, but if the higher Sol goes, it's pretty self-explanatory. The bigger the wealth effect for Sol shitcoins.
Somebody asked about Brett real quick. What do you think about this little walk up?
Just stair stepping, looks very similar to Andy and Wolf,
Yeah.
like these things totally look like they could return or like pull back deeper. But at the same time, it just could like these can be like your first two little pumps before the big, the big meat stick. You see that time and time again where it kind of fools you, right? It kind of fools you.
Meme coins as a sector honestly look probably the best of them all. Honestly, when I'm just kind of scanning them, which makes sense because for the same reason that they outperformed in 2024, they're the purest expressions of beta and liquidity at this point, right? Because why would you hold a VC scam over a meme coin that's probably going to return better ROI? Yes, there's going to be more volatility, but that's often a feature, not a bug, right? Because you don't have to risk quite as much capital to get the same move.
There's no good per chart on here.
No, yeah.
You're stuck with that one.
No one said Farcoin is done, Logan James.
No, Farcoin's definitely not done. Let me go back.
I mean, it's in a healthy uptrend.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks like Sol, right? It's kind of, at least
Yeah.
basically since, it's been consolidating for a week, it looks very similar to Sol.
It's just stair stepping up.
I mean, you have to remember this thing, Farcoin was running before anything else was running, right? So people that are up big on Farcoin, if they're wise, they're going to take profits on their early runner and turn around and buy stuff that's still on the floor, right? Like that's kind of how I've been playing it with base Farcoin, right? Something that's been running for months already while the rest of the market hasn't been, skimming profits on that, turning around and building up other bags that haven't moved yet and churning those profits. It's logical, it makes sense. But I mean, it's, although, the things that Prometheus touched on, it's still in a healthy stair stepping uptrend, right? It's still this thing could pop tomorrow, right? And just continue on. But corrections are just part of the market, right? Just part of the game.
That is part of the game. Structurally, it looks great. I mean, the entire way up, right? It gets a pop, comes back, retests the previous highs, turns that into support, and then goes again. Very, very, very clean chart, and no, I mean, Farcoin, there's no issue with a pullback here in Farcoin. What you want to pay attention to is if, majors, we start to see, bullish or volatility enter the market, bullish volatility enter the market, and majors really start to run and alts run. And if Farcoin isn't doing anything, then you kind of say, okay, there's a problem. But I mean, today, no big deal. I mean, sure, you have a handful of alts up. You have, majors essentially flat. Indices and equity markets are flat on the day. There's little volatility in the markets, right? We're coming into a week, at the end of the week. I would not be worried here. If you lose that low that kind of Tucker has drawn out at like $1.20 something and change, you could definitely see a little bit of a retracement and pull back potentially into the FEG on that expansionary candle that we had on the move up. But I mean, I'm not, there's very little volatility today. I'm taking little signal out of today's price action, truly.
But we're priming a big move. Like, to me, that much is clear. This compression that we are loading, or this compression that we've been sitting in effectively for, at this point, a week now, we are loading a very large move out of. I think that's, we're looking at, if for whatever reason we bleed back into the low, for example, on Bitcoin, I'm not bidding, certainly not. I think you're looking at a bigger wipe if that's the case. I think context clues favor a breakout, though. We're probably priming a bigger move higher. Just taking altcoins as a signal, right? But again, it's like ETH. I hate this bleed off the highs that ETH has been putting in. Bitcoin structure, I think, looks phenomenal for trend continuation, but ETH's bleed is just kind of like, it could go up, it could go down.
Yeah. I mean, it's above those MAs. It doesn't look bad. No. There's no hate on Sol, man. Look, check it out. Sol for me looks a lot better above like 175, right? Like this line right here. I think you get above 175 on Sol, you probably just teleport up here. Where is this even from? Probably the weekly or something.
I like Sol memes more than I like Sol, to be honest.
I mean, dude, I don't think there's anything in here. I think you're gonna just fly if you get back above 175.
Got a little bit of resistance at like 200, but yeah, I mean, it's basically air.
Yeah, you're gonna rip.
Gentlemen,
Oh,
Nice.
Max here.
I came in. I heard bullishness. I like it.
I think, honestly, I think one of the most like bullish charts for USD prices is actually Sol ETH looking so bearish, because I think that signals that ETH is potentially getting ready for another leg up.
Well, no, Tommy. It's okay. It's looking okay.
Are you ready for 0.05, Tucker?
No.
I think you guys need to bet a steak dinner on this chart. That's the only way that a man can truly convey his conviction is by wagering a steak dinner with a friend.
What was the one you bet Prometheus the other day?
We're gonna go to the dinosaur park and study dinosaur bones.
That's right. Dinosaur golf.
Doge is making a new all-time high. This
I thought it was $1. Wasn't it $1
No, it was new highs.
in market cap or price?
That would be new highs.
It's the same thing.
New highs to this one?
75 cents.
Yeah, it just needs to get above that wick.
So 100 billion,
that's the market
basically.
That's the market cap, man.
So a 3x.
100 bills.
A 3x on Doge. That's the bet.
Dude, he's cooked. I honestly feel
Max
bad,
heard
like,
Max heard 3x and he went, "Oh shit."
dude, I've given you so many opportunities to get out, Prometheus. You're just I respect the conviction, bro, but dude, all right, how about this? I'll let you out of it and we can still go to the dino park. All right.
The Dino Park.
No, actually, how about if it doesn't make new highs, then you have to sleep in a tent with Wabi, and I don't know what else, but
That's it. That's all you need.
I mean, me and Wabi would have a great time, man. We would just sit there on deck screener all night. It'd be super fun.
No Wi-Fi, Max. No Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's cruel and unusual punishment now, bro.
No Wi-Fi. You're in the middle of the woods.
Dude, you're sick in the head. What's wrong with you? Oh, you should be
Male
torturing
bonding,
for the
brother.
government.
That's male bonding.
boys, you see
Yeah.
Kita's up 24%, Hanon's up 16%, PER's up 14%.
Dude, I was just actually looking at Kita, and she looks nice, Prometheus.
Mhm.
So nice.
She's a beauty. They got their stress test coming up too, so breaking back above that log 1618 too.
man.
So
Anon looks great.
It's like for once Tucker faded the 1618 and didn't get punished for it. I love to see that. That's how you know we're bullish.
I faded this one. This one still. Oh, we're above it, aren't we? We're above it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I've seen that get
Wow.
It could still
hello?
swing fail, but it looks really good.
It does look
Yeah.
really good. The log.
You're coming in on the linear 2618 right now.
Hmm?
yes, we
Oh, the
are.
linear two. Oh yeah, we are.
God, dude, Sol ETH is about to nuke. I can only assume that means ETH could rip.
Tommy, give me entry, stop loss, position size, margin to use, everything, please.
People are gonna fade this Sol ETH downtrend all the way down, man. All the way down.
I mean, good. That's bullish.
It's gonna full round trip coming. Full.
You think it's really going to 0.02?
full round trip?
Yes,
02.
yes, back to the
Ooh.
dumpster.
Dude, that is a minus 70% move ish. roughly, right?
Yeah, I think it's bullish ETH to an extent.
Okay, so that means ETH is probably going above 4K then, unless you just think Sol is cooked.
I mean, I could see ETH going above 4K, but I'm less confident in that. I'm not going to speculate on USD prices, but I do think this pair is completely fried, and you're going to see it come down materially and realistically, like round trip the entire 2023 bull run of gains for Sol ETH, the entirety of it within the next few months.
That's months.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, here's the thing, though. Is I would like some Sol memes to do well. Do you think that Sol memes can
Yes.
actually do well even with this pair nuking?
Yes. I'm more bullish on Sol memes than I am on Sol, if that makes
But
sense.
we were looking at
I assume it would imply that you're more bullish ETH memes than Sol memes, though.
I'm bullish Pepe. I'm not as it's not that I'm bearish on other ETH memes. I'm just not I'm not like charting them actively.
That's fair.
I mean, on-chain
look,
activity
like,
on Sol, I think, will still be better than ETH. But I think it's just Sol is going to get cucked by the constant beta chase that you see like every day.
I mean, Farcoin's been going up while Sol ETH has been going down, so definitely can still do well even with this in a downtrend.
I mean, it's kind of the same idea of like Pepe rallied while ETH BTC was nuking. We could have Sol memes rally while Sol ETH is nuking. Same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ETH deserves to have a run after the past 3 years of down only against Bitcoin, everybody fudding it. It deserves to have just like just a 3 or 4 months of just mania. And then zero. I don't care. Just give me like 4 months.
And then zero.
Like, I don't care, man. I mean, I hope it does well, but someone needs to go to prison for this chart. That's all that I know. So liquidate them and then send them to prison.
I'd love to know like what the actual, like if you were to, obviously we can speculate on what the true drivers of what brought ETH BTC down were, but from a positioning standpoint, I'd love to know, like the back end of what caused it to look like this.
Larry Fink and the boys brought Vitalik into their office and said, we're going to give you an ETF, but you and your foundation are going to continue to jeet and sell until our bags are packed. And then we let it rip.
Honestly, not a bad deal, though, if they end up actually sending it, if that conversation happens.
When it goes back up, then who gives it? No one cares anymore.
So basically they said, look, Vitalik, you're going to go through like 2 years of pain and everybody that loved you is going to turn on you, but then you're going to be a legend. And he was like, deal. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I talked to Larry Fink.
Wouldn't that be funny if Vitalik DMs you and is like, how did you know that, Louis? Who told you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think alts are so springy right now. Look at that Hyperliquid daily chart, man.
It's insane. It's,
yeah.
I mean, literally just up and to the right. Get like 5% pullbacks here and there. That's it.
I mean, you're probably 1 or 2 dailies away from getting a close above that massive distribution that Hyperliquid was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm kind of expecting this chart to accelerate realistically over the next week.
Which means my per bag is going to go up.
Correct.
How's it doing today?
It's up 13.
Oh, dude, I'm in the green now, I think. I don't even know what my entry is, but I'm pretty sure it's okay. I'm in the green, boys.
That's right.
That's like my biggest problem as a trader is that I never take note of my entries, like for my spot positions. I'm just like, I think the chart looks good, and then I slowly fill, and I never check to confirm what it is. But I know the general region. But I never know where I bought and sold until my accountant gets involved. Then he's like, you need to know the number. And I'm like, damn it. All right,
You've
fine.
heard-
I'll figure it out.
You've heard the joke, like, I mean, back when we were ranging, just ranging for 6 to 7 months, the joke was like, oh, the TA guy thinks it looks good. Oh, the TA guy thinks it looks bad. The range is just ping ponging back and forth.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to joke about that, but I mean, we've broken out at this point, so I think it's contextually a little bit different. We can laugh about it now.
We can laugh about it now. This chart looks like when it breaks 28, it looks like there is nothing but thin air to like $40.
Mhm. There's nothing, dude.
Yep.
There's
The
nothing.
thinnest of air, man. We're talking like Colorado mountain top, thin air. Bring your oxygen tanks. Thin air.
Mhm.
45's
Where-
next up.
where's
Is
this
that Wick
going, Tom?
real? No, I don't think it was.
What's
that
Hyperliquid's market cap right now?
I think it's at like
8 or
8
9.
10, but the
Yeah.
FDV is probably closer to 25.
25 what? Bill?
Bill, yeah. Oh, if it were
wow.
mil, dear.
25
Well, yeah, I guess it's not. I guess I don't know if you meant like 250.
It's 9 bill and the FDV is 27.6. So I guess the FDV is correlated with the token price. I have been seeing that they might not even do a season 3 for points. They might just do another airdrop because the foundation still holds like 70 or 80% of the tokens.
That'd be sick.
That would be
What if
sick.
they just-
I'll be
what if they
way
just full
way
stack
more
it?
prepared this time around. A lot more volume since the last time.
I did the math. In hindsight, the first top on Hyperliquid was pretty obvious because it was basically like do you guys remember that bull whale on Hyperliquid that everybody used to counter trade for Bitcoin?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
He got liquidated for like a huge sum of money, and the top was literally his airdrop bringing him back to break even. In hindsight,
Really? That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Okay.
I don't know if he actually sold tokens, but he got all like his P&L was back to break even because hype pumped so much, and that ended up being like the top almost to a precision point.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Trader P&L, I have to imagine, is going to play a role in the pricing of Hyperliquid because people are going to sell it, if they lose out on perps for collateral. But yeah, I mean, the chart looks phenomenal. And I think I don't know if I said this on MarketCheck yesterday. I know I said it on the afternoon call, but the next leg on hype is probably going to be a result of people being forced to buy the token to participate on the EVM because there's probably going to be some sort of activity, incentives, whatever, that are going to really attract, I think, new traders.
Fully. I mean,
Which will
there are
benefit
people,
her, right?
Yep. And people are speculating too that they're going to be doing stuff with like the EVM. Like you should be farming it right now, essentially.
Hype is right there, man.
I think
Right
it's losing
there.
Bitcoin, man.
Time
I
to
mean,
purr.
yeah, lower time frame. It looks pretty similar to Bitcoin. Like, let me do this.
Oh,
Bitcoin looks ready, man.
I agree.
hype leading Bitcoin?
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were short BTC, I'd be sweating a bit right now.
Yeah.
Because if you clear that rejection at 105, that's a structure break. That short's underwater.
I mean, this is the Cheeto in the door, man. I honestly think if you can flip 106, like really flip it, you're going to go to like 125, 130 within 3 weeks.
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on Pepe.
I think meme coins in general just look so ready. Honestly, like across the board. They just need a little bit of elbow grease from majors.
I just don't think Bitcoin's going to give that pullback. Like I know a lot of people wanted like Monday's low, which was like a sweep of 100, maybe even like, mid 90s to 100. I just don't really think it's going to happen at this point. I think they're going to launch it.
Max, you telling me that sometimes you just have to believe in something?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Unless it's dinosaurs, then probably not. But other than
Well,
Probably
yes.
not Prometheus.
Tucker, you got to help me out here, man. Prometheus is just like,
He wears
I mean, you got-
dinosaur PJs to bed.
Yeah, I got
dude, he
dinosaur.
probably still has dinosaur sheets on his bed. I have a feeling.
The dinosaur blanket.
Probably has like a bunch of plastic T-Rexes in your room,
Hanging from the ceiling, and they're on that spinny thing with the light.
The thing like for babies.
As I go to bed, I stare up and I dream about the dinosaurs.
What's that kids show about what's that kids show? It's like Dinosaur Tales or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yes, it was.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
The land before time.
Oh my
The Land
god,
Before
dude.
Time.
I loved The Land Before Time.
Oh, no, I will
course
admit,
you
I
did.
also
Oh.
love the land. Before
Surprise,
Time.
surprise, right?
They made the leaves look so tasty.
Oh man,
Dragon Tales, that was another good one.
I didn't really watch. I probably watched that. I just don't remember it. That was like my nascent years.
Big Ice Age fan here. Big Ice Age fan. Sid the Sloth.
Are you Sid the Sloth?
I am not Sid the Sloth.
We might have to do a side by side.
With me and Sid the Sloth, it's not even close.
Sid the Sloth is pretty damn funny.
He's awesome.
That was back when like humor in kids movies was actually, they layered in humor for adults too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the type of movie if I went back and watched it, I'd love it even more now.
I watched all the Ice Age movies like 10 years ago. So I mean, it was like they're actually really old, which is funny. But I had a surgery done and I like couldn't move for like a week. So I just sat in bed and watched every single Ice Age. I was like, I'm just gonna watch an Ice Age marathon. I was like 20 years old. Hilarious, man. Hilarious. You're totally right about the like
An Ice Age marathon.
it's the humor that goes over the kids' heads. They're just like, I don't know what that means, but as an adult, you're like, I see what you did there. Madagascar was hilarious too, man. So funny. Well, no one's saying shit.
Got a Pepe chart for us, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Always.
I don't know. I feel like you got a Pepe chart, man.
We already looked at it while
Yeah,
you were
I didn't
having
see
a
it.
blackout at work.
Yeah, the power was out.
Yeah.
What did you say about Pepe?
I said it looked decent. I think
Decent.
Yeah.
Why are you fudding Pepe?
Above 1/4, we look great. But obviously this looks to be a high time frame leg we're putting in. So the MAs look great. Oh,
Base Pepe looks really good too.
look who it is.
Uh-oh.
The Wabinator.
Director of Melt Up.
Hi guys, happy Thursday. Wait, no, Friday.
It's Friday. Happy Thursday.
Hi guys. Man, what's going on, guys? Let's go ahead and give a round of applause to Prometheus. With barely 3 months in this team, he called out his first 100x on Kita. Prometheus, how are you feeling, man? You called out your first 100x, man.
Oh man, I mean, I appreciate it. I think we're only at like 20x and change, but
He's talking about future value, Prometheus.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing. No, man, it feels awesome. It just so happened to fall into my lap at the right time, just God's plan. So
That's what happens.
You know what I've noticed about like when people join the team is that usually when somebody joins BB, like there's some big play that like falls into their lap to like kind of get them going in a way. I feel like Louis had like base Pepe right away. Everybody's kind of had their like right off the bat like huge winner. I don't know. I think it's God's way of saying like, all right, this is meant to be. I gave you this soft toss to earn the trust of the broader Because Bitcoin community,
Yeah.
So we are accepting applications.
Yes, you have 100x, you can join BB.
Look at this, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, they got that stress test here. They got that stress test here at the end of the month, and as soon as that green lights, it's game on. Now, I'm excited for the next few months. I've been saying it in the Discord on the afternoon calls, but nothing really would be more special than having a bullish summer, especially after the past few summers we have had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, you're on vacation and you're just like dreading the fact of like the fact that like your portfolio's down, like 20%. But I do think that a bullish summer would be pretty epic, and unironically it'd be like almost 4 years to the date since the last altcoin season. So
the bots are back, bro.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Are you gonna whack-a-mole?
Am I gonna whack-a-mole?
Yeah.
Whack-a-mole, you guys are going to the arcade without me?
I don't think I have access to whack-a-mole.
Got him. All right, let's see a chart, boys. Who's got another chart? I've been charting for a while now.
Pull up Launchcoin, man. The Discord got into that one at 15 mil, and it spiked up to like 300 plus in 2 days.
I saw that.
Yeah. On-chain's kind of pulling back a bit after that kind of froth. It reminds me of when the AI stuff went crazy and that pullback and just everything bled. Do you remember, like late October?
Yeah, Lobby, and then the real runners, and then after we had that pullback, the real runners came.
Yeah. What do you guys think, like, when there's a new narrative that comes out and you have, like, your first two winners, everyone says, oh, I missed out, time to chase beta, and then, like, the runners keep running and everything just, like, craps the bed. Why do you guys think that is? Even though we've seen this many times, we first saw that when Pepe ran. You guys remember all those, like, Pepe derivatives in Q2 of 23? There was, like, Pepo and Popey.
Yeah. All of them rug, bro. Every single one.
Yeah. So why do you guys think that is? Like, people just refuse to bid strength for whatever reason when like these new narratives pop up, even if they're just, narratives that only last for a quarter or so, right? Why do you guys think that is?
Why do people refuse to bid them?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you why I don't bid a lot of the new narratives. Not that something like this isn't worth bidding necessarily. It's that a majority of like the new narratives don't even last more than like a week. And most of my investing has to do with like, okay, for
Oh
one,
no,
do
no,
I
oh
think
no, Max. I meant like not why like you're not bidding XYZ narrative. I'm saying like when these new narratives start, right? Like say for AI, we had AI 16Z virtuals and GOAT. Those were like the main core winners up until December when the new stuff came out, right? And
Mhm.
so when that stuff started running in like late October and throughout November, people would say, "Oh, I missed GOAT, I missed AI 16Z, I missed virtuals. Let me go ahead and bid like this new ticker, this beta of beta." Why do people decide to choose beta sometimes in a new narrative when most of the time it's actually like the leaders that end up lasting throughout the quarter?
I think it's just underestimate of like how high things can go in crypto specifically. Um, and it's like that mindset. It's like, oh wow, X, Y, and Z coin, ran from this low to this high. I want to catch something that you know is equally as low as that was before it ran. But in hindsight, buying strength is always is the better play. Is the better play. But it is tricky in crypto, right? Because like you could have a strong token, and then overnight, especially something like on Sol or whatever, like it deflates out of nowhere. So maybe it's a little fear of that. Maybe it's a oh I missed it mentality. I would have to say,
I
and
think
trying to catch
because
that same exact move.
I think it's because Sol
Louis,
coins
so
are
oh my
so
bad,
like
Tommy. I'm
lottery
sorry.
based almost as far as their results. You don't really know what narratives to believe in or not because there are so many coins that will run to 10 or 20 million and then go like straight to zero. That it's hard, I think, as a result to like identify what is a good narrative on Sol and what's not early on, at least.
So
I don't know how you guys feel about that.
a good example would be like the base stuff, right? Like they saw Brett do like a 20x or a 30x in Q1 of last year. And then you had, of course, the anomaly that was base Pepe. And then there was base this and base that and base that. And I mean, that stuff didn't really do anything, right? Um, but Tommy, what are your thoughts on like this new on-chain narrative thing? Like, because I know me and you, we kind of have the same people that we follow, right? Like Bripto, David G, stuff like that, right? What are your thoughts on this ICM stuff?
I'm probably not super qualified to talk about it because I basically didn't really play it at all, with the exception of like scalping startup pump. Whenever what's his name mentioned it on X, but yeah, I don't know if I could tell you from a fundamental basis how good the narrative is, but I do know the coins go up, and that tends to be, all that matters as far as like painting a narrative. So if the market is still interested in it after Launchcoin pulls back and it goes for another high, then I would say it's a pretty good narrative, right? And it's a market, I think, in general, that wants to believe in things. And like I was kind of saying a few minutes ago, I think part of the difficulty with these Sol shit coins is people don't know what narrative to believe in until until you hit like exit velocity, essentially, right? And then there's just kind of like this analysis paralysis, and you don't want to buy a coin that's like parabolic at 100 mil, and it goes to 300 or 400 mil, and you buy in, and you bought the local top, and you probably will sell the local bottom too. So I just think it's like this whole thing, but I don't really have anything on the narrative itself. I just know that the market's clearly accepting it as the biggest narrative on Solana right now, more so than animal coins or something else.
Thanks, Tommy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow.
It was great hearing your thesis. We should have Bripto on the show, man. He should come on the show. Remember when he used to? Remember when he used to raid Market Talk,
I remember that.
like during the summer of 2023? Good times, man. Those conditions were horrible. Summer of 2023,
Yeah,
bro.
dude. The things that I was gambling on.
What do you guys think of Sol? Do you think it? Where do you think Sol goes in the next like 8 months? If you think Sol ETH is topped, maybe like 6K ETH, 350 Sol, something like that.
What number you
Yeah.
say for Sol?
He said 350 Sol.
Yeah,
That's probably
350,
fair.
350 Sol, 6K ETH, 350 Sol would take Sol to like a quarter trill in market cap or something like that by the time it gets there because of the dilution and stuff.
Did you say 6K Sol?
No,
No, 6K E.
No.
Okay, sorry. My
Yeah.
volume was a little bit. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
No. If Sol ever goes to 6,000, a gallon of milk is like $25.
Probably.
And
Real.
everyone is living that Black Mirror episode from the new season where like people are actually earning a living doing pump fund streams.
Dude,
Like
that was a
super
crazy
dystopian.
episode. It made me think of that a little bit.
You saw
Like
that, Max?
yeah, I've seen the whole
Yeah.
season.
Like with like the subscription thing and all that. That's a real thing, by the way, guys. Like I remember paying $5 for Netflix, and now it's like $30. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, those
man.
were the days
Yeah.
when Netflix is just stacking long-term debt. A lot of people don't know they have like a ridiculous amount of long-term debt. I think it's like 80 billion in long-term debt or something like that.
Prometheus, what are your thoughts on what's going on with United Healthcare, man?
Well, I long to the local top. No, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it resolves because they are the largest healthcare provider in the United States. And for a company of that magnitude to now be under criminal investigation and for them to not just be able to, pay off some politician or pay off some judge or whatever and have it just kind of slide under the rug is kind of a new precedent, right? I mean, typically these mega corporations just get away with whatever the hell they want. And I don't know if it's truly because the Luigi guy actually caused something or if Trump's, office is actually kind of setting a new precedent when it comes to fraud and business practices and yada yada. In the long run, probably what's going to happen is nobody's going to go to jail and they're just going to pay some ridiculous fine and that'll be that. But the news is bad. I mean, the company was the 7th largest stock in the Dow Jones, valued at like 600 to 650 billion dollars market cap, and now it's like at 200 and is just in free fall. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. Like it's either going to be an Enron or / Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers situation, or it's just going to be, like Boeing where they just pay a fine and then everybody forgets about it in a month and a half and we just move on with our lives. So it's kind of where I'm at with it.
Thanks, Prometheus, for your analysis.
Are you going to long it, Wabi?
No, I don't really like equities. I only like talking about I only like talking about Hood and the forever range of the IWM hopefully breaking out that we've been discussing for 2 years, man.
I thought you were a
That's been a
Costco
brutal.
maxi.
No, man. But the brutal trade is waiting for IWM to go into price discovery. I remember for those that have followed BB since the very beginning, Myself and Tucker made a video on like how the IWM correlates with like altcoins, and that was in the summer of 2023, and the IWM still hasn't gone into full price discovery. Like it made a marginal high, I think, in November of last year, but not like a true breakout.
Max, you know what I think it's time for?
Hmm.
Probably the end of the show, brother.
That's what you think.
And then, you know, I know you like to play your commercial.
I do like to play the commercial. I mean, yeah, I guess we could play the commercial. All right, guys, here's the deal. Bitcoin's about to go into price discovery. Your meme coins are about to moon. It would take World War III to stop that from happening. We're going to have a lot of fun here. Now, here's what I need from you guys. All I need you to do is to consider something. All right. We show up every single day. We tell you about it every single day. But today is different because it is a very short window of time before glory and prosperity hits. Okay. The calm before the storm. That's what this is. I want you guys to consider signing up for the BB terminal. Maybe you're not ready to sign up for like the meat and potatoes of it, which is paid, but you could at minimum sign up for the free portion, which is state-of-the-art portfolio tracker and also access to our super charts, which is just like normal derivatives data with a few custom indicators. We are also about to roll out 22 custom proprietary built by BB indicators that you can only find on the BB terminal, and you'll also get to add them to your trading view, which is pretty cool if you're a paid member. Now, here's the deal, guys. Don't get your data from somebody else. Get your data and your information from us. You love us. You know us. If you want something changed on the terminal, hit us up. Send us a message. We'll work on getting it changed. That's the difference. You want something added? We'll add it for you. We want this to be a BB kind of sponsored, hive mind style product where everybody has their fingerprints on it. It is without question the best all-in-one Swiss Army knife style trading tool, portfolio tracking tool, market navigation tool for crypto traders on the market anywhere. And we built it. It's almost done. It's fantastic, guys. We're just really starting to roll it out. And later this month, again, probably in the next week, 22 custom proprietary. You can only get them through BB indicators. They'll be on your BB terminal, and they're also going to be able to be syndicated and added onto your trading view. So sign up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a code up there as well. All right. If you want to try it 30 days for free, meaning you don't have to pay for a month. And then if you don't like it, which by the way is impossible, you're going to love it. You're going to be like, I can't believe anybody would ever cancel this. 30-day free trial. Check it out. Terminal 30, guys. Where can you find this? Check out the link in the description below. All right. Check out the link in the description below, guys. 30-day free trial. So all I ask on this fine Friday is that you consider the following. Just a consideration. At a minimum, sign up, use our free tools. BB Terminal, free portfolio tracking, free super charts, lots of indicators, really clean UI, clean charting. You're going to love it. Okay. The breakout's coming. You can flip on the Agger function and watch all the huge, buy orders come in and subsequent bear liquidations come in. Okay. We got real-time Agger order flow information right there on the terminal, 100% for free. But if you want the meat and potatoes, the hundreds of indicators on chain, centralized exchange information, derivatives data, portfolio tracking, heat maps, spaghetti charts, the whole thing, guys, the whole thing. And you're like, you know what? All that sounds great, but I haven't actually seen it. It's a big commitment. Well, guess what? Check out the code right there. Terminal 30 days for free. So you can sample the meat and the potatoes for 30 days for free. It's zero risk and you're going to love it. So check that out, guys. From us to you, built by BB, for you guys. We love you guys. Use our data, support us while supporting your trading journey. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Market Check. Enjoy this little BB Terminal commercial. We will see you guys Monday. Take care.
Every morning, coffee in hand, I open up the BB Terminal. We built this platform to be your trusted companion, whether you're actively trading, investing for the long haul, or even dabbling in the degen space. Let's start with the BB portfolio. It integrates with over 60 blockchain networks and supports both wallet connections and manual entries, making it flexible enough for any trader. On the active page, you'll find advanced charting tools, complete with more than 21 custom scripts to give you deeper insights. Beneath that, our intuitive heat map helps you spot key support and resistance levels easily. But we know active trading isn't everyone's style, so we created the DCA page, equipped with over 35 thoughtful indicators. It's designed to assist you in making informed, strategic, and long-term investment decisions. We're genuinely proud of what we've created here at BB, and we continually strive to improve it every day.